But now we focus on William Whittaker. 28 years of age now, Will, and this a beautiful Saint-Français bread. In fact, Belgian bread, I apologise. SBS it is. The name that jinxed me. Utamara de Cosine it is. The horse produced by Joe Clee. And this Williams ride last year, his first senior cap, to my surprise, came in Gothenburg, the Europeans. William is Ian Whittaker's son. Ian, brother of John and Michael. Apparently, rumour has it, had the most talent of the lads, incredibly, but opted not to show jump. 29th individually in Gothenburg, in the Ullevi Stadium. But sadly, yeah, once again, that plank top was at 9. And yeah, toe in the water. Or more like the full leg, sadly. This pair jumped in the Nations Cup in Hickstead last year. They had a beautiful double clear. One time it was in the second round for William, but they're a world-class combination, and I would imagine will make the transatlantic flight to Tryon for the fast approaching World Equestrian Games in the middle of September. Will be wonderful to be out there for FEI TV, bringing you the World Championships. I'm not covering show jumping. I think that honour is going to Philip Gazala. The brilliant Philip will be out there. But certainly the eventing is my cup of tea, and I'm very much looking forward to that one. William Whittaker, it is who completes. Utamaro completing with a score of 8. We're delighted to welcome now Ireland's Cameron Hanley. Cam, 45 years of age, Longines number 75 in the world. Part of that superb silver for Ireland in the Nations Cup in Abu Dhabi. Just behind the Kiwis, had their first ever Nations Cup win to my, again, amazement. Back in the spring. Cameron sets off with Isora. Had a lot of victories, and that is again impressive because they're a young enough combination. Only formed in the summer of last year. But this man is some horseman, as I'm sure you all are well aware. And he started superbly here. Same fence as William Whittaker. Takes Cameron Hanley's scalp as well. I thought he might do a clear, I must say, because they've been in stunning form. They were third twice in Madrid on the Longines Global Champions Tour and 8th in the World Cup, qualifying Bordeaux start of this year. As if we needed reminding, it's plain as the sunshine this afternoon. This course is mega tough. As Cameron Hanley crosses the line, and Isora just falls into that classic course designer's trap of 2m10 triple bar to a blue plank. Of course, the horse is bowling on after a huge jump and a wide jump to clear that triple bar. And then can they just compress their stride and tackle an altogether different sort of a question? That is, of course, always the way it is. And sadly, that's just a fall for Cameron Hanley. Well, it's a very good time to introduce my co-commentator because Frank Schuttert is alongside me to watch the new world #1, Frank. Harry Smulders gets underway with Zinnius. You had a great round, just a foot in the water. What was your overall feeling about this course?
I think my horse jumped actually really good. I was a bit unlucky in the turn from fence 10 to the big water number 11 that my horse slipped away. Here an unfortunate one down for Harry actually on fence number 3. Anyway, my horse slipped away in the turn. And after that I couldn't really go to the water. I was too slow and I just had a foot on the white tape.
Overall, there seems to be many complexities on the course, Frank. There's a lot of feet in the water, the plank at 9's tumbling a lot. There's plenty to do out there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big course. Now with the new format, the Grand Prix is already on Friday. 5-star Grand Prix is always very tough to jump. It's a long course, 14 fences. Directly fence 2 starts already with a Liverpool. The big water is in already. I think it's definitely a tricky course.
And Harry Smulders, the new top dog in World Show Jumping. He was one of my picks for the victory. Sadly falls foul on the early part of the course, but Zinnius comes home. And Frank, this man is in unstoppable form. Yes, of course, Kent Farrington's been sidelined with his leg injury, but Harry's been winning everything. What is the key to his overwhelming success?
I think he always stayed very quiet over his career. He had a good group of horses, but he didn't push them to be #1. Even at the moment, he was getting very close to Kent already, like a half year ago. He stayed quiet. He even put his best horse on the break, Don VHPZ, and yeah, now he is #1. He has his main horse back. He's also jumping here on Sunday in the Nations Cup, and directly last week he won the Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Hamburg. So my opinion is, with the group of horses he has and the form he is in now, he will stay #1 for a long time.
Interesting to hear your reflection on your countryman. As now France prepare, they'd love to have another one to join Patrice Delaveau. And this, the former world #1, Simone Delestre. He's #9 on the Longines rankings at the moment. And he's had a win with this horse already. Won yesterday at Sultan de Beaufort. Poof. Electric down the triple.
Yeah, Simone won the big class yesterday. Just in front of Harry, actually, with Zinnius. He was second. So we will see how we get on now. I think Simone is saving his main horse Ryan for Sunday's Nations Cup. Again, a funny jump there on the open water.
Boy. Just snapped the front legs out, didn't he?
The horse seems to be very careful though, and really tries to get it clear out.
And the French crowd just settle themselves. Well, Frank, it's come unstuck at the end, but I must say, a fairly new combination again, and yeah, the last line unsettles them, but overall, a lot to like.
Well, I think you jump, the horses have to give a lot, also on the big water and tall vertical after that. Then it's actually usual to go to the right, to the gate, but we have to turn left away from the gate again to a big combination, which is already number 13A, 13B. So I think, yeah, it's a long course, and the last line is away from the gate. That makes it even harder.
We focus now on Pilar, Lucrecia. Cordon comes forward. This is Galine Lacour Zichelhoff this afternoon. 12-year-old Belgian warm blood mare. Pilar now 45 years of age. She hails from Zaragoza in Spain. She's been in the saddle since 16. 29 years of riding. Tennis, skiing and swimming are her pursuits when the rare moment she's not aboard. Just survives an early rattle there, Frank. That line's very much close to the crowd, and I imagine that's one of the distracting features.
Yeah, definitely, especially in a big ring, as here in Baule. It's hard to jump a line, and even a 4-stride line, just on the short side of the arena. You see a lot of horses that spook a little bit from the crowd there, and it makes it quite hard to start.
Pilar Cordon, 48th in the Rio Olympic Games, Worlds in Kentucky and Caen, but just flattens down to that plank, Frank. They've got to really compress their stride before, haven't they? If you're on a flat distance.
Yeah, you come in a triple bar, all the horses get a good big jump over there, and they land a little bit on their head. So the riders have to make sure they get them back on the hind legs to jump the plank. And that's why you see a lot of faults there, because all the horses get a little bit flat.
So Pilar Cordon travels down the last line here. Galine comes home. I think overall a very solid round. Just that one mistake, but it's catching out some very good people, isn't it? We saw William Whittaker have a problem there, Simone Delestre. It's a bit of a big scalp pitfall there.
Yeah, he did the last line very well. Just one down. Not much to say about that.
So there you see the summary, and just those three. The very first out, Gudrun Pate, Patrice Delaveau, the home hope, and the world number 2, Kent Farrington. He would certainly be my money come the jump off as we stand. But now it's time for the London Olympic champion. And this horse, new horse for this level for him, Alamo, gets underway. Steve Guerdat, this Swiss magician, in the saddle.
Makes a little bit a bigger turn here to fence number 3. Take his time. Now the rest of the course he needs to hurry up a little bit. Also here he has to wait one more time. The horse is jumping very good.
Double World Cup final champion as well. Las Vegas and Gothenburg, 15 and 16. And it's another big name, no bigger name, caught out by the plank at 9. There's going to be a barbecue on the beach later, I think, Frank. They're going to
looks like it, yeah.
Toast that one. Alamo comes home, but he's a young enough horse, just 10 years of age. And I think fair to say this kind of atmosphere, Frank, the horse is going to learn lots this afternoon. They're going to come back better the next run.
Yeah, definitely. It's a special atmosphere in Baule, and definitely inexperienced horses. They have to learn to deal with that, and he will bring that experience to the next round.
What's it like when you ride in there? I can imagine it's quite electrifying just to come in front of such a crowd.
Yeah, definitely, especially a day like today. It's beautiful weather, so a lot of crowd came to Baule, and it's getting actually very excited with only 3 clear rounds.
Yeah, we're moving on nicely because combination 33 of the 50 is just coming casually into mid-picture. And it's the experienced Irishman we welcome. Part of that superb gold medal for the Irish in the Europeans in Gothenburg just last year. We welcome. We'll just be delayed a moment. There's a pole that needs replacing out on the course. But he is aboard Chaki Z, his ride in Gothenburg, to lift the European team title for the Irish. 12-year-old gelding stallion, sorry. Chaco Blue, the father. And yeah, the pole is out of your picture, being sprinted down. It was the middle part of the oxer out of the last combination. Just being replaced in the cups. It's easy to forget, Frank, but it's an obvious thing to remind ourselves, but I think we should. The number of people to run a show like this is truly enormous. It does take a real army of people.
Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot of work. We know it good ourselves because we always organize the 4-star show in Ommen in August. And that's definitely a lot of work. You need a lot of people to help. Also a lot of sponsors, and you really appreciate it also when you see other shows, like the amount of work they put in.
Well, if you're ever -1 commentator, Frank, you know where to find me. So here we focus on Shane Sweetnam comfortably down that 4 strides with Chaki Z.
Fari makes it look very easy. As you said, the horse, he won the gold medal on the Europeans last year in Gothenburg. Jumped also good last week in Hamburg.
37 years of age, this lad from County Cork initially. He's been in the USA since 2004, running the Sweet Oak Farm in Wellington. And poof, Chaki Z, the mare, gives that big oxer at 10 a lot of breathing space. We're building towards our 4 clear, I suspect it.
This looks very good. Last line, still a difficult line to go.
Time's comfy.
It's coming in good. 6 strides to the last. Beautiful.
That was very, very classy. The Irish look cool as a cucumber as Rodrigo Pessoa. Little grin and a giggle. Ireland have got 1 into the jump off. That was very good.
Yeah, that looked very easy. The horse was jumping great. He rode amazing as well, and look forward to see him again in the jump off.
And La Baule very unique in the sense that you can actually walk your horse out on the beach, give him a little canter in the waves in the morning. I mean, it's a one hell of a venue from the sort of relaxation for your horses as well.
Yeah, definitely, and everything is very close to each other. Like out of the hotel room, you can see the ring. You are at the beach, so you can ride the horses in the morning at the beach. It's actually a super show. It's in the middle of the city. It's really one of my favorite ones, actually.
But now we focus, because one of the greatest surnames of world show jumping over the last quarter of a century, it is Markus Beerbaum setting off for Germany. This is Cool Hand Luke on the early part of Frédéric Cottier's course.
Also jumped a little bit to the left there on fence number 3. Got a fault. You saw actually with Harry Smolders, he had also fence 3 down. He knew there were not many clears, so he hurried up a bit after that, and he's still in 5th position.
Yeah, valuable prize money down the line, 150,000 euros. So with this few clear rounds, if you have a 440, you want to keep a move on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, it depends maybe also a little bit if you have the same horse on Sunday.
True. Thinking of the Nations Cup.
I think Marcus is jumping this horse in the Nations Cup on Sunday, so he won't worry too much about a fast 4-folder. And Harry's situation, it was different.
So Marcus Beerbaum has been a world-class trainer. And great to have him back at the sharp end of world show jumping. Just that one mistake coming so early at 3.
He's actually very quick, 6th place.
Yes, as you say, Marcus just pops in behind Harry Smulders. Second quickest of the 4 falters. So with the 3 clears, 4 clears now, sorry. That one for Shane Sweetnam changing the clear round tally that had been the same for a long, long time. The second quickest of the 4 falters, and Marcus Beerbaum puffs out his cheeks. He's back at the big time. But the next to come is a Frenchman who is ever impressive. He wins a lot of big classes, including that huge win at the London Olympia Horse Show in December. We welcome Julian Epaillard sets off. This must be a great chance here again for France. He is aboard Quedden, so Francais mare. She's 14 years of age. I was about to say it was very confident down to that plank.
Yeah, it's always a bit, also a bit the style from Julian Epaillard. He always rides forward. That's why he's also winning a lot of classes. And I think even after this 4 faults, he will still be very quick. Unfortunately, he didn't get out of the combination there. Because some 8 falls in 81 seconds would have been a very good time.
Yeah, it was lightning quick. Would have been the quickest of the falters. But another one goes in the home journey, sadly. So 8 it is for Julian Epaillard. So we're still sitting in a fascinating position. 4 clear rounds. And we're into the last quarter of this opener for the Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule. 58th edition of this. One of the great names of world show jumping, as you said, Frank. It really is wonderful to be here, and it's a special feel this week.
Yeah, definitely. Also for myself, it's a very important week. We have a strong team here for Sunday, and that, of course, is the main event. The Nations Cup on Sunday is for us the most important. Of course, I would love to be in the jump off today, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So we try it again on Sunday.
Exactly. Come out all guns blazing in the Nations Cup. But now we go to 26-year-old Cara-Bianca Frow gets underway from Johannesburg in South Africa. She's multi-talented. She's a model, a pop singer. In fact, just 2 weeks ago to this day, 4th of May, she opened a big concert for the Script in Pretoria. Lead singer, incredible. I thought I'd, but I clicked on an article, and this is Cara-Bianca Frow. I must say, singing along at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking very good. I think she also jumped the World Equestrian Games in Cannes 4 years ago.
She did, and she was in Kentucky 8 years ago as well.
I haven't seen her for a long time, but looks like she's getting back in shape for trial.
Yes. But sadly, another one. Steve Guerdat, Delestre, Whitaker, and now Frow toppled by 9. And just came a little bit awkwardly to 10 as well.
Just like she's losing the control a little bit at the moment. The horse is getting very strong. Still a good round.
It is. That's exactly what I was thinking. So, Cara-Bianca Frow coming home. just over the time as well, because the horse getting strong, you've got to try and set them up, Frank, and that's when the time becomes a factor.
Yeah, I think till number 8, fence number 8 was looking very good. And she got a good shot over the triple bar. And got a little bit flat there in the line. And then on this level, you can have a few faults very quick. Just gave her 12 faults and a time fault.
And we were talking earlier about jumping Amsterdam. Well, I was telling our listeners about your great Anemone Horse Tracks Grand Prix, and that was incredible for the Netherlands, wasn't it? Top 6 places.
Yeah, definitely. Amsterdam is one of the biggest shows in Holland. It's an atmosphere like it is here. When the French come in, the crowd goes even louder. It's the same in Amsterdam. And it's, yeah, definitely a show I always look forward to ride again.
But this one of the great outdoor shows, Amsterdam, of course, in January, very much, thankfully, indoors. But now we come to Spain. And it's a good start here. Paola Amilibia it is, on course with Gaudi this afternoon. Hails from Barcelona. And it was Paola's grandfather, a horseman himself, who gave her an early passion, and that was absolutely beautiful through the line. Nailed it.
Yeah. The horse is jumping very good. So with a big stride, so hopefully she get the 5 strides short.
Jumps it.
Jumps it very
beautiful.
Good. She really helped the horse there to get it back on the hind legs.
This horse is operating Gaudi. The famous Spanish architect is sculpting a great clear here. Come on, Paola. It was her birthday just on Thursday, so she needs a late birthday present. Time's just okay.
Ah, well done. Really good.
That was super. A second and a quarter inside the time, and we've waited a long time for clear round number 5.
Look at that, she gives the horse sugar.
Bit of sugar. Oi, oi, oi. Points to her lovely Gaudi. She won the President's Cup in Madrid in 2006, was her career highlights. And married to Mexico's Federico Fernandez, and that is a super late birthday present. It's our 5th clear of the Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule for Spain.
Yeah, I think her trainer, Vincent Voorn, will be very happy with this result.
But the horse was really operating. I mean, I got a real buzz watching him through the Longines line at 6 franc. You knew the horse was really at the races early on.
Yeah, definitely from the start on it looked very good. She gave it a good ride and well-deserved clear round.
On course, we welcome the man that was a very good 3rd yesterday in one of the 5-star classes. Paul Estermann kicks off. Curtis Sitter, the 10-year-old stallion, again makes a beautiful job of 6 ABC.
Horse seems to like the triple combination today, and there are not many faults over there. Sometimes the oxa can be very hard for them, but you jump towards the engage, so makes it a bit easier.
Paul Estermann coats out over that big oxa, the Pays de la Loire. A 10, 170 wide, 150 tall. Now, move. Just about to get prematurely excited, sadly, because our 6th clear comes unstuck just before the home turn at 12.
Very unlucky fault over there. Looked like everything was perfect. Distance was good. Got a big jump over the big water. Just touched that fence.
The margins are so fine, aren't they, between a clear and an annoying full faulter. Not a lot you can do as a rider to affect that at times. It's just the nature of the beast that is show jumping.
Yeah, definitely, that's the sport. I think sometimes you have a round with one down and you have a good feeling and you could have been clear. Sometimes you have a round with one down and you're not really happy because you could have had a few more down as well. And that's a big difference. I think he is happy with his round and is looking forward to his next class.
There you see the 5 that are qualified. One from each of the 5 nations. We've got a real head-to-head. What's your feeling at the moment, Frank, as to who's likely to take away the lion's share of the Grand Prix prize?
I think we have a few quick ones already in the jump-off. It's only 5, but I think definitely Patrice Delaveau and Aquila and Kent Farrington on Gazelle are maybe one of the favorites. Also Shane on Shaki said is a very quick horse and a quick rider.
Yeah, looked superb in the first round, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think your feelings are similar to mine. I was going for Patrice or Kent Farrington. But now we focus on Paul Kennedy. Can Ireland double up? Cartown Danger Mouse it is on course. Solid start.
Well, actually, in Oxford we didn't see so many faults on.
No, it's fallen down very scarcely. We're just into the last 10. Paul's the 10th last to start.
Looking very good everywhere else. Hopefully he can bring it home like this.
And I guess, like yourself, Frank, this afternoon, those with 4 faults are sort of thinking, well, it was nearly brilliant, but it's still a very, very good performance.
Yeah, definitely. You always want to jump a clear round. Maybe depends also a bit. I'm jumping the same horse on Sunday, so luckily I get another chance to show myself. If you're not jumping the Nations Cup, then it's
really annoying.
Then it's even more
doubly annoying. Yeah. So Paul Kennedy exits, and just that one down for him. 86.39 was not particularly quick, so he'll be a little bit down the 4 faulters. Still the quickest with 4, Harry Smulders. The world number 2 with Zinnius 82.6 is the quickest 4 faulter to try and beat. If you want some valuable prize money down the line in this Longines prize. But now we go. One of the crowd favourites. And he won the opening class yesterday. I flew with John Roche over from Geneva and I said to John that Bost had won. He said, of course he did. Yeah. As though it was a matter of clear business. Roger just takes a deep breath. This is Sunshine du Phare about to get underway with the great Bosti to try and join Patrice Delaveau and become the first nation with 2 in our jump-off. You would not put it past him.
Starting directly on 1 stride less to the second fence.
Currently, Roger is number 22 in the world rankings. Little gasp from Frank alongside me. He was a long way off that. Oxerin.
Quite deep coming in. Luckily, he has a lot of scope.
I just caught the other side. I thought he was a long way off it. From Barbizon, just to the southeast edge of Paris, but sadly, the sighs, the ooh-la-las go up from the crowd because the graveyard of champions 9 toppled again. Ooh, Roger. Thought it was a bit deep to the water as well.
Got away with that. For sure, everyone loved to see him in the jump-off.
The Rio gold medalist turns for home. Just that one mistake. It's a solid round, but still, we stay with the 5. Roger-Yves Bost, we can't wait to see him. I'm sure part of the French Nations Cup team come Sunday. You couldn't leave him out. He was in the World Champs back in Stockholm. In 1990, he was honoured by the French President Jacques Chirac at the LSE Paris following his success in Stockholm. So one of the great figures of French show jumping completes with 4 this afternoon here in La Baule.
One of the first leg of this Longines FEI Nations Cup series that was 3 weeks ago in Estermann. Also part of the team that came second.
Ireland's last chance to give Shane Sweetnam a course walk partner for the jump off. We welcome Paul O'Shea. Comes forward with Scara Glenn's presence this afternoon here in Brittany. And this horse, only 10, one of the younger ones in the Grand Prix Longines here in La Baule. I saw Chris Chugg's mare Crystalline Frank in Gothenburg, the World Finals of a couple of years ago, at just 8. Dazzling. So if your young horse has got world-class capabilities, they can come into this sort of cauldron and just rise to the challenge if they're really good.
Sorry.
You were concentrating. I was just saying how young horses like Crystalline, we saw at 8 in Gothenburg, they can come into this kind of atmosphere and, you know, love it, lap it up.
Yeah, that was an amazing horse. And if they have the mind just to do it, they can also do it when they are young. Here, unfortunately, got the line down. It was a bit deep on the triple bar. I had to add one more stride to fence number 9. Gave him directly to 8 volts. 8 volts. Paul O'Shea was already double clear in the first leg of the Nations Cup in Samarin. And today wasn't his day.
Yeah, sadly, a little bit off colour, Paul O'Shea. The Irishman completing with 4 down, 16 it is in this 58th edition of La Baule. The FEI Longines Nations Cup of France, just completing with 16 is the Irishman, but their flag is still aloft. As Shane Sweetnam, probably one of the best rounds to my eye of the first round, is well qualified and looking like a real contender to pick up the Lions' purse for the win here. But one combination we haven't talked about, and we really should have. I talked about them in my opening. But it's Pedro Veniss. And this is the brilliant Quabri de Lille, the Rolex Grand Prix champion of Geneva in 2016. This is one that could well jump this first round clear.
Definitely very scopy horse. Always loves big grass rings like this. Let him popped over the triple bar. That gave him some extra space for the plank. That's really good ridden. It's not a national fast horse, but he's never too far away. Never loses stride anywhere.
It was a Brazilian win last year for Pedro Moulart and can now. Pedro Veniss put Brazil within. Oh, yes, he can. I was going to say within grasp of taking a double victory in Le Baule. And the great Prix de Lille powers home. And that is now 6 clears. With only 6 more to come, Frank, that looked very comfortable.
Yeah, only 6 clears, definitely not a lot. With only 6 to go. Maybe we'll get the maximum of 8 clear rounds, I would say. And Pedro Veniss showed already once that he, maybe even if the horse not that natural fast, he can still, he has a big stride in a ring like Geneva or in La Baule here. He can also be very quick.
That exactly was a point on my mind. I mean, the horse doesn't look quick, but that ground covering stride in a big grass arena, you need a horse that can eat the ground for breakfast, we say.
Yeah, but he also rode it very well. He was short from fence 2 to 3, short to the last combination. I think he never gave it away. And on the end, he was quite easy inside the time.
So big occasion this afternoon for Alexandra Paillot, just coming. Ooh, the salmon pink vertical splashes into the water, sadly. That hasn't caused much bother, but oh, it's an early.
Looked like she was a bit far off there. The horse jumped too much forward and not high enough.
But this mare, again, is young. She's only 10 years of age. She's side by Laudanos. And indeed, Sandra Ophart, from eventing fame, the world champion, was 3rd just last weekend in the Hamburg Derby with a Laudanos Chestnut. Jumps that tricky plank beautifully. Yeah. What were all the others fussing about, Frank?
Oh. That horse is jumping very well. Have a look on the water. No, wasn't over, just on the tape.
Well, I think overall for a fairly young combination, that was a solid enough round. 1 time as well, 9 it is for Alexandra Paillot. But a lot to like.
Yeah, definitely it looks like a good combination for the future. They gained a lot of experience again today.
It's actually my first time here in Le Baule, and I must say, tomorrow afternoon for the Derby, can't wait to see that one. I've seen Falsterbo, I've seen the Hickstead Derby, of course, in my home country, but never here in Le Baule, so I'm sure you've seen it before, and it's going to be a great afternoon tomorrow as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great derby they have over here. There's going to be a lot of people here to watch. I'm going to jump the derby myself as well.
Perfect.
Actually.
Which horse are you aboard?
I have a 10-year-old mare called La Fille Rouge. Never jumped a derby with her before.
Did she win the Grand Prix recently as well?
No, that was
beautiful red. That was
beautiful
red. Sorry, I thought Rouge. Maybe it was just calling it the French. Yeah, just rename your horse in Le Baule. So on course now. Switzerland's 40-year-old Alain Jufer is up and running. Longines number 160. He's a keen motor biker when he's not in the saddle. And 4 years ago was named Swiss Rookie of the Year. And it's a very bright start. Rode in Zurich and Basel at the start of this season. He was 8th in Basel in the Grand Prix as well. But Rachmanshof is going beautifully here. Again, only 10. Owned by Jean-Baptiste Luther. 5 fences to go here, Frank.
Oh. So far, a very good round. See if he brings him home.
Oi, oi, oi.
You see again a horse that didn't really expect that there was coming one more line. Walked a bit over the shoulder there to the double.
Yeah, just looked switched off a little bit mentally, didn't he, out over that oxer?
Yeah, a lot of horses actually like that. What I said in the beginning already, it's more usual to turn right and go home after fence number 12.
Right, that's their normal finishing point unless you're on a Grand Prix course.
But you have to go left to a big one-stride combination. It's never easy.
But probably a reflection of the fact the horse is just 10, so that would be the mental fatigue more prevalent in a younger mind, but a lot to like for Alain Jufer. 1 down, 2 out from home was an unlucky slip out of the jump off for the Swiss jockey. But now France prepare, because they're last to come. Patrice Delaveau live and well. One of the 6 for the home nation, but Thierry Rosier brings forward Venezia Decosine. This, the daughter of Kashmir van Schuttershoff, the father of Peter Fredriksen's European winning H&M All In. Early rattle at 3, he survives. The French would have held that up in the cups mentally. Difficult fence jump beautifully. He met that perfectly.
I helped the horse over the plank there. Saw Thierry Rosier 2 weeks ago on the show in Le Touquet. And it looked like he was already in great form over there. See if he can continue in his form.
Come on, Thierry Rosier. Patrice Delaveau watching eagerly, willing him home. Come on now. The time is good. Yes! Brilliant. What a reaction.
Crowd is getting wild. This is what we like to see.
This is superb. It's 7 clears. And France becomes the first nation at home in La Baule to double up. Patrice Delaveau would assess the jump off course with Thierry Rosier. Brilliant stuff from the Frenchman. Now things are warming up beautifully.
Yeah, definitely. And French has already 3 riders in the jump off. So there's a big chance they going away with the victory.
You added one, Frank. I think it is still 2, isn't it? My maths is horrible at times.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It was the crowds. It felt like it was a 3rd one. So it is 7 clears, and yeah, what it meant to Thierry Rosier. He's the 4th last to start. Only 3 more to come. But it's far from over, because Brazil, this very capable combination, could they add to Pedro Veniss's lovely clear? We welcome in Luiz Felipe de Azevedo Filho. This is 12-year-old Chasito, about to get underway. The horse he co-owns with the Écurie Fab. And again, by the stallion of the moment, Chaco Blue. So many Chaco Blue offspring really at the forefront. Henrik von Eckermann had that great win in the World Cup in Sharjah with another Chaco Blue son.
He really takes his time, the first 3 fences. Still jumped away from the crowd there. Also a fence that went down a lot of times.
It has. I would say it's caused as much bother as anywhere, really. That and the plank. Probably the plank's just got the statistical edge. "43-year-old Filipino," his nickname. He runs the The Azevedo Equestrian Centre in Miguel Pereira, it is, in Brazil. 50 horses stay at home. He's got capacity for 50. Horse still looks full of running at the back end of the course. What's your feeling there, Frank?
I think he never really came in the rhythm. He added stride from 1 to 2 and from 2 to 3. Got that fence down, and then everything is already a little bit gone. And then looked a bit empty there at the last line.
Yeah, it's the kind of course, unless you're really meeting fences out of a flowing stride, come the end, the horse is going to be a little bit like, this is getting, you know, a step too far nearly.
Yeah, I think it's very important in a ring like this with a long course that you start good, to get in your rhythm, and you can keep that up till the end.
So the Brazilian stand, of course, disappointed for their man, but their hopes are carried very effectively, I'm sure, by Pedro Veniss. But now we have just 2 to come. The first round of the Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule is reaching its conclusion, and it's certainly been a fantastic affair. 7 have succeeded it and 2 more to come. This is the Spaniard just away. Manuel Fernandez Saro sets off with Cannavaro. This by the real character, Corner de Blensky. The horse that Marco Kucha and Marcus Ehning rode to top level. Just dived at 3 a little bit again.
Yeah, it was quite a hard fault. Like he didn't really look at the top ball.
Fanfa is Manuel's nickname. Longines number 97 and 43 years of age. He rode in the WEG, the World Champs in Aachen, the great Surs Arena back in '06. Frank Kemperman's classic. Similar feel, I must say, Aachen to La Baule. Just a horse sports mecca. 4 Europeans as well for Manuel. Gothenburg last year, Aachen 15, Herning 2 years before, and 14th was his best finish in San Patriano in Italy back in '05.
Well, 2 down at the start of the course. Actually jumped good everywhere else. For sure, Fanfa will be a member of the team on Sunday, as he actually always is in the Spanish team. And I wish him a lot of luck on Sunday.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, we very much prepare, because the final rider of the 50 in the Longines Grand Prix of La Baule comes in. We have 7 clears, the 2 for France, Belgium, the USA, Ireland, Spain and Brazil is the composition. But the last to go is just doing his final circles in preparation. It's the great Marcus Ehning. Marcus aboard the Ehning Sportfed's Funky Fred this afternoon. Wow, 3 World Cup finals. Wins, of course. Needs absolutely zero introduction. He's simply one of the finest we've ever seen.
Leaves his stride out from 1 to 2 and takes his time over here. Still also looked in the crowd and totally forgot to jump that fence.
That is the main problem, isn't it? Just focused on the rows and columns of people, Frank. It's very hard to get them to focus on that. And it's green as well, same colour, of course, as the grass. Another, can they see
exactly.
it, factor.
You jump also to the big screen. A few things that makes it difficult fence. It gives us only 7 clear rounds.
Exactly.
I have to say, when I was riding on the warming up, I was number 16 to go, and there were already 3 clears in the first 10, I would say. Thought it would be enough clear rounds, but you see how it can go.
Yes, exactly. The story of the day. A lot of early clears. Very much so with the very first Gudrun Petit doing the business. Then we had a real pause. We had to wait a long time for clear round number 4. And it's been drips and drabs, but precious few have tackled Frédéric Cottier's course successfully. And Marcus Ehning, he'd be one of the crowd favourites. One of the favourites as a non-Frenchman. Marcus Ehning completing with Funky Fred this afternoon with 16. Well, Frank, we exhale. It's certainly been a fascinating 2 hours of sports.
Yeah, definitely it was a big course to jump today. Falls, a lot of faults everywhere. Only 7 clear rounds. It's going to be a good jump off.
And the crowd's played its part, certainly, with that sort of distraction feature at 3. But a lot of problems out there, particularly the plank at 9, a really tricky line after the big triple bar.
Yeah, what you said, that were probably the fences that went down the most. Don't know if it's necessary in a big ring like this to put the line that short on the side.
Yeah, the horses probably, so much space, isn't there, out there? But now we look at the lineup. There you go. The very first to start, Gudrun Petit, got us off to the perfect start. He was second last year, and Patrice Delaveau carries the home hopes along with that man, Thierry Rosier, of the 7. Your fellow countryman, Harry Smolders, the quickest of the 4 falters with Zinnius, the world number 2. Kevin Jochems is a man who's really making his mark at top level, and Captain Cooper just 1 down. As we go down the 4 falters, Frank, 1 down 1 time.
Yeah. Good, I think if I didn't slip the way there in the turn, I had to make 2 strides extra to the water, so the time wouldn't have been a problem.
And I guess that slip was the reason you didn't quite have the stride you would have wanted at the water.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like to make excuses.
Right, but just being honest here.
Maybe else I would have had 1 down in the last line, you never know. But it definitely wasn't perfect to ride to the big water.
Well, this crowd is warmed up now beautifully. They have the home advantage with 2 to come back to battle. These are guys who sadly fell foul of this big Frédéric Cottier course this afternoon. But we are absolutely poised for the jump off, which is starting very shortly. In literally 14 minutes time, 4:15 will be the first horse of the 7 to come. And I must say, Gudrun Petit looked absolutely immaculate, Frank, the very first to jump clear. She was so easy, Gudrun, the very first clear round.
Yeah, definitely still a very young horse as well. And I think it's only 9. So it's a big course for a 9-year-old horse. And she's very proud on her performance. So we'll give it a try in the jump off.
So my sincere thanks to Frank Schuttert for some superb co-commentary, and we will welcome you back. 4:15 is the start time for the jump off to decide the 150,058th edition of the Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule. Thank you very much, Frank.
Welcome.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you for the great dessert awaiting. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the scene that awaits, anticipating a brilliant jump off. And these are the starters in their order. 7 in total, and Gudrun Petit in perfect shape. Patrice Delaveau was second last year. He's been a double champion, will come as number 2. The recovery story of Kent Farrington is remarkable. And could the long-time world number 1, now former world number 1, start to think to reclaim his crown that has been stolen away by Harry Smolders, who was the quickest 4-faulter. So Ken Farrington's bid to come back to the top of the sport is well underway, and there is the course details. 310 meters, the length of the course, and 47 seconds is the time they must come home around Frédéric Cottier's course. The start is the same. The Baule Oxer gets them into their running. The sharp enough right-hander to the salmon pink water tray at number 2. Fence 3, that tricky fence is out of the jump off. It's now this big Longines Oxer at 4. A left-handed turn into this dog leg line. Fence 5 is the RMC vertical. The in part of the triple, the Longines line, is removed. It's Oxer, one stride vertical, the combination. The new fence is 16, this Equitheme Oxer, and then they're going to blaze down the grandstand to come to the Longines 160 vertical. Will bring them home inside 47 seconds, and France doubled up, the only nation with 2 in the jump off. Patrice Delaveau and Thierry Rosier, and Thierry's got the last to start advantage. You can see what unravels in this Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule on Friday afternoon. It's 4:15 and it's kick-off time here in one of the great grass stadiums. The François-André Stadium welcomes. This lady was so good in the opener. We welcome 33-year-old Gudrun Petit comes forward aboard her beautiful athletic, wasn't he just? One of the 6 youngest horses in the field at just 9. He trots in, I'd say, almost naively into this cauldron. We welcome Seacoast, Just the Music, and Gudrun Petit to kick off the Grand Prix Longines this afternoon. We'll take a split time for you up over the RMC Info Talk Sport vertical, just behind Gudrun there in your picture. That's pretty much the halfway point at 5. So let's get underway. Gudrun Petit holds no prisoners down up over the salmon pink vertical. This horse is so scopy. Yeah, 19 seconds on landing is our split time. Just takes a hold for a moment into the Longines double. But this is super. 2 fences to run here for Gudrun Patitz. And now she presses for the final fence. Yes, doesn't she? Gallop for home. That was so committed. She just went bold as brass to the final fence. And Jérôme Guéry has a good smile. He knows that's put some pressure on. She took a moment of a check into the double, but I think she had to be sure of jumping it clear. But the attack at the last really has thrown the cat right amongst the pigeons. That was super. As I say, landed in 19 seconds and 39.7. Not easy to be the first out the blocks, but it was a brilliant finish from Gudrun Patitz. And the bar has been set, I'd say, up around the neck of those to come. But now, one of my favourites coming in. Patrice Delaveau, second last year with a killer. Gets away. I'd say fractionally slower there than Gudrun Patitz. I think he'll be down on the split time. That's 19 seconds on landing. But he speeds there. Now that was quicker on that turn. Caught up time because of the tight cut he made after 4 to 5. He's marginally ahead here, for sure. He's definitely got her on the clock here. Patrice Delaveau comes home. Well, it was a steady, almost sleepy start from the Frenchman, but then he really cut such a good turn away from 4 to 5. That was where he made up the time to land on the split marker ahead of Gudrun Patitz. Achilles having a little munch of grass on the exit. Oi, oi, oi. 38.58 to take a second and a quarter off the Belgian former leading time. And Patrice Delaveau is in top spot. What a good round. Well done to him. But now we go to the man, Ken Farrington. This superhuman recovery. His Rolex Grand Prix winner of Geneva. Angles already out over the first. And he's for sure quicker over the vertical. Gazelle opens up. 18.5 seconds. Patrice landed here. It's absolutely the same. This is absolutely to the wire here. Ten seconds on the turn to the Equitheme Oxa. I think he's got him here. Or has he? Or has he? Oh no! Just slightly almost balking as Kent tried to accelerate for 14. Cost him. We'll well forgive him some competition rust as he's been recovering from that leg break. It was just that turn to home. The difference between Patrice Delaveau, who hangs on, 38.58, Patrice's time, and Kent Farrington squeezes Gudrun Patitz into third, 39.28 for the world number 2. He does go second in the Grand Prix Longines this afternoon, but a great effort, and I must say, hats off, very firmly thrown off your head for the recovery from Kent Farrington. But this man looked a model of composure. Didn't he ever in the opener? 31 in the world. Shane Sweetnam is about to get a gale of wind in Chaki Z's sails, I'm sure, and he's away. Quick start. Economical line back to 4. About 18.5 seconds for both Patrice and Kent here. Again, right on the nail. Similar, even though to my eye looks fractionally slower than Patrice Delaveau. 38.58 to beat. It's so cool, and this is really close here. This is tight. Sadly, double out of luck with the last fence tumbling, and 39.07, he's about half a second down. I thought he was a little bit conservative, out over 5, the red and black vertical, and again, didn't really push Chaki down to the Longines double. That's where the half second was torched to my eye, but that final fence, I'm afraid, catches out Shane Sweetnam. The Irishman is 4th after 4, but a super Friday afternoon he has enjoyed, and of course will be part of the Irish Nations Cup team come the second start of Europe Division 1, the Nations Cup on Sunday here in the François-André Stadium. But 3 more to come. And this horse was so good in the opener. We talk of ground covering strides. This horse has got a global covering stride. Paola Amilibia is on course. Gaudi, yeah, was about 3/4 of a second down, but that's the least of their worries, sadly. Now, Paola starts to rev for home. But I must say it's been superb to watch this pair in action. The Self-Francais 12-year-old just takes the last off as well, which is an expensive finale to her Grand Prix Longines here in La Baule. But out comes a customary sugar cube for Gaudi. And they've been a great pair to watch. Well, 2 more to come. And France looking very strong with 2 to come, and the leader for France, and one of those last 2 for France. It's going to be a French or a Brazilian victory. We know that much already. But which is far from certain, because this pair have won on the very, very high stage. And Cara-Bianca Frow is now fractionally lighter. Pedro Veniss is about to get underway. 38.58. Patrice Delaveau's leading time. But as Frank Schuttert and myself said, this horse has got the, again, huge gallop stride that can just eat this big renovated grass arena up. We sit and we watch. Pedro Veniss is on course. That is attacking. Really ripped down to the second. If he can land here in 18 seconds, he's got an eye on the trophy. And he does. Oof. What a shame for Pedro Veniss, but the home crowd have a little buzz because they know it's a win for France. He was certainly good on the clock by a slither. It's a valiant effort from a great pair. They really have been superstars. The 14-year-old, I should say, he was bred here in France. So it could have kind of been a French win either way. Self-Francais stallion, Cara-Bianca Frow completing. And he's full of beans on his way out, but unlucky. This was the moment that sadly took Pedro Veniss's scalp, when he was really in with a good chance of grappling the Longines prize away from Patrice Delaveau. But yes, the French crowd are delighted. But now, which of Patrice Delaveau and this man, Thierry Rosier, will successfully win this Grand Prix Longines? Thierry Rosier comes in Venezia de Cosine to get underway, and the time to beat 38.58. Good luck to this pair. Good start from Thierry Rosier. Not holding any prisoners at all as he launches out over 4. Not far down here, he really isn't. Right in touch of Patrice Delaveau. I'd say fractionally slower down to the Longines double. Just took a pull and another one. $39.28 to come home ahead of Ken Farrington and make it a French 1-2. Wow. He was outside Kent's time in any case, but the final fence tumbles. But Thierry Rosier salutes his home crowd, and he's had a memorable afternoon here in La Baule, Esclobac. Unlucky really was. The very final fence tumbles. 39.44 was his time. And that puts him into 5th position on our leaderboard. Two and a half hours after we started, we have the final results. And second last year, he goes one better. And Patrice Delaveau claims the 58th edition of the Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule. It's a home victory. Congratulations. Ken Farrington is back from injury. And what a recovery and what a was with Gazelle. He was about 3/4 of a second down on the winning time. And Gudrun Petit, the very first to come in the Grand Prix, is a memorable third again. And that €150,000 prize fund is split amongst the top of our leaderboard. Ireland Shane Sweetnam was the slowest of the quickest, I should say, of the 4 falters. And Shane is 4th with his European gold medal winner from last year, Chaki Zed. And the very last to go, Thierry Rosier in 5th position. That is Venezia de Cosine up in the top 5. Pedro Veniss, Quabri de Lille in 6th position. And Paola Amilibia it is with Gaudi for Spain. And then the world number 1, Harry Smolders and Zinnius in 8th position. As we look down our leaderboard on what's been a fascinating afternoon of sports. 2.5 hours I've been jumping up and down from my seat. Just really savouring my first La Baule experience. But yes, it's the home nation who prevail. And hats off to that man. Patrice Delaveau starts his campaign as we look towards Tryon for the 2018 World Equestrian Games. He certainly fires out a warning shot to his rivals that he is bang in form. And a killer looking like one of the best horses in the world on this sort of form. Let's hope he can maintain it all the way into the World Championships.
En tant que partenaire titre et chronométreur officiel de la série, Longines est fier d'être associé avec la célèbre épreuve par équipe désormais baptisée Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup de France. La passion de Longines.
We build up towards the prize giving for the Grand Prix Longines here in La Baule, and we have a look now at the split screen between Patrice Delaveau and Ken Farrington, 1st and 2nd. As you can see, Kent Farrington was ahead over the second. But then Patrice Delaveau, that turn between 2 and 3 was critical in getting his nose ahead of the American. Fractions between them on the home turn. But there, Patrice Delaveau would really seize the victory. So, we learnt it was the turn from 2 to 3, which was the real decisive point, where Patrice Delaveau said to Ken Farrington, "Get behind me. I need to give my home crowd something to really set their weekend up perfectly." And he is the Longines Grand Prix champion of La Baule. Our congratulations, hearty congratulations to Patrice Delaveau, one of the great names of French show jumping. We leave you enjoying the scenes, and we'll welcome you back for the prize giving, which is a matter of minutes away. Enjoy the happy scenes on the northern Brittany coast here in La Baule. We'll see you for the prize giving in just a few minutes' time. The French crowd getting well and truly warmed up, as they of course must be, to celebrate an absolutely fantastic 2018 victory. Here he comes. Patrice Delaveau, 53 years of age, is welcomed into the François-André Stadium with a standing ovation. A killer has had a simply magnificent season. They won the Longines Masters Grand Prix of Hong Kong. They won in Jumping Amsterdam in January. And Patrice Delaveau holds the incredible honour of having won both this class, the Grand Prix and the Derby. Here in Le Baule, the first man since 1971 to do that he did in 2013. He did the double in Le Baule, and he sets up another possibility with the big derby to come tomorrow. Thierry Rozier in your picture, 5th this afternoon, and there Captain John Roche, the director of the show jumping for the FEI. John competed here, he was telling me yesterday, back in the 70s. He had a great speed win. Castle Park was one of the quickest horses in the business those days. And John Roche welcoming in our prize winners to an adoring crowd. They get just what they really wanted. That's Thierry Rozier, 2 in the top 5 for the home nation. France, the reigning Olympic champions in both eventing and show jumping. That's Shane Sweetnam in 4th position. Jackie Z continues his form of Gothenburg. Gudrun Petit it is who comes next. What a Grand Prix she's enjoyed. 3rd place it is with Seacoast, Just the Music. 9 years of age only. One of 6 9-year-olds in the field. That is an awesome result. But there, Ken Farrington. Wow. World number 1 for so long. Out with that nasty leg injury, but he is well back, isn't he? Windsor last week, and now La Baule for Ken Farrington with his Rolex Grand Prix champion from Geneva. Gazelle is making good strides towards the World Championships in Tryon, and you would not bet against Ken Farrington becoming world champion. He'll be so steeled after his injury. But there, the champion, the 2018 La Baule Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de La Baule champion, Patrice Delaveau. Doffs his cap to the crowd. And an afternoon that he, the French crowd, a killer, his great team of owners, the Haras de Guerdat, will really remember. It's a world-class field that he's beat, including the top 4 in the world rankings, to claim the lion's share of the 150,000 euros on offer. Thank you very much to Longines, our sponsors, for their support of this classic in La Baule. Just getting her hair secure. The first to come up onto the podium, and there it is, the Grand Prix Longines bronze medal winner. She's becoming a real star. And her horse looks simply exceptional as a 9-year-old. It was so impressive from Gudrun Petit and Seacoast, Just the Music. But Mr. Recovery, Mr. Long Time, world number 1, is back. And I tell you, back from injury that sends a huge warning shot to the rest of the world. Ken Farrington has got his eyes securely on the world title. But there is the champion. And it's thumbs up from Patrice Delaveau, who lifts the Grand Prix Longines de la Ville de la Baule for 2018. The 53-year-old is victorious in the François-André Stadium, which is warming up beautifully. Patrice says, I've had enough. The crowd say, no, 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 no. C'est pas possible, Patrice. Nous allons. Now he joins in.
Et je pense que Patrice sera très sensible au fait d'entendre justement entonner le public de la Baule, la Marseillaise.
The Marseillaise sings out here in Brittany to salute the champion Patrice Delaveau and Aquila, lifting the Grand Prix Longines here in La Baule. And we remind you of the moments that were crucial to this man sealing victory on this beautiful sunny afternoon in France. And of course, there's a beautiful Longines timepiece to adorn Patrice's wrist into the summer of 2018. And Captain John Roche goes forward to award the winner's plaque for the La Baule Grand Prix, the 58th edition.
Congratulated by Mr. John Roche, who is the FEI jumping director, as Mr. Pedro is now making his way towards our podium.
Le Grand Prix Longines de la ville de la Baule, Monsieur le Maire, Mesdames, Messieurs, petit Pedro.
And the wonderful wooden horse trophy is awarded by the Mayor of La Baule to the home champion Patrice Delaveau. This city so behind horse sport indeed. An agreement between the Hermitage Hotel, who has a trade with the land, and an agreement between the Hermitage, who used to own this beautiful grass stadium, that this must be dedicated to horse sport in the years as we go forward. So horse sport and top class show jumping very much part of La Baule and is very much here to stay. So business wrapping up here in the François-André Stadium. Well, the business is just starting for Patrice Delaveau with a nice GH Mum bottle of champagne to enjoy and savour his moments. And a wonderful weekend of sports lies ahead of us. Tomorrow, the big derby, one of the great derbies in the world of show jumping, right up there with the likes of Hickstead and Falsterbo. And that's going to be a wonderful afternoon of sports. And then on Sunday, it's the 12th ever running of the Nations Cup of Le Baule. I can tell you that the home nation, France, have been the most successful during the 11 years history. They are the defending champions as well, having won it on 3 occasions. Last year, 2014 and 2010 were all French victories. Belgium won twice. The Dutch also on 2 occasions. Germany, Ireland, Britain and Switzerland have won the Nations Cup here. 1 time apiece for those nations. We will have 8 nations starting. The Nations Cup comes Sunday, and of course the Chamarin victory went to the Swiss team, so they are really stating their case for qualification for Barcelona very strongly. It's Germany, Brazil, Canada, Spain, the home nation, Ireland, Netherlands, Switzerland. The 8 nations we start to look forward to for Sunday. Uh-oh, the champagne is being uncorked, I think. Patrice Delaveau sends spray into the air. The first sip of the bubbles to toast his 2018 Grand Prix Longines victory, and the lion's share of €150,000 go to Patrice. Yeah. He gives Kent Farrington and Gudrun Pate a good dousing in the bubbles. Just congratulating down the line, Ken Farrington, Gudrun Pate. It is the top of the podium. And Shane Sweetnam for Ireland is warming up very nicely for Tryon. I'm sure he'll be once again part of the Irish quartet, heading to his new home country, the USA, come September. Jerry Rosier makes it 2 in the top 5 for the home nation. Pedro Veniss, Paola Amilibia are the top 7, and Harry Smulders, the new world number 1, is the best of the 4 falters this afternoon, with Zinnius, that is, in 8th position. So it's a stunning scene here, but no more so than for the home nation, as Jerry Rosier and Patrice lock hands to salute. A great afternoon for French show jumping. And the Olympic champions once again prove that they may well be the team to beat come the World Championships. And it's lap of honour time in Le Baule. The job is done and dusted for Patrice Delaveau. Killer still in quite a new partnership with Patrice, but showing again they are real contenders as 2018 unfolds and we look to those World Equestrian Games. Ken Farrington tracks Patrice. And the world number 2, of course he is. He's been out in injury. He franks his form. His recovery is complete. And Kent and Gazelle once again breeze around Frédéric Cottier's course. 3/4 of a second behind in second. But all eyes on that man. Patrice Delaveau lifts the Grand Prix Longines here in La Baule. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful afternoon of sports, and the weekend is absolutely teed up to be a classic here on the French Breton coast. And we wait and see if Patrice Delaveau can repeat his feat of 5 years ago in winning this class, and the derby to come tomorrow. We will be bringing you all of the Longines FEI Nations Cup jumping. Leg 2 of Europe Division 1 kicks off on Sunday at 1 o'clock, 1300 hours Central European time. Can Switzerland once again win as they did in Chamorin? We will find out in 2 days' time. From myself, Ed Holloway, it's been a pleasure bringing you the Grand Prix from La Baule. It's good night, and we'll look forward to welcoming you back to this famous grass stadium on Sunday. Thanks very much for watching.